Hello, heathens.
Hello, heathens.
Oh, you guys, I'm sure you guys can tell don't sound like myself that much. That is because I have been fighting a cold. I will
Hmm.
be sniffling and I apologize. Part of your ASMR for the episode. It's me sniffling. I'll try not to hack into your ear holes.
Oh, we like a good hacking. We're
Uh,
heathen.
yeah, that's true. Um, hey, but I got up, I put makeup on today. Go me.
Proud of you.
Proud of myself. Made myself happy, you would say.
Oh, are you happy?
Uh, Weirdly, I am happy. Weird, right? Um,
Are we supposed to be happy?
the world would like to tell you not to be.
No, I think it's a whole gaslighting thing.
It's a what?
A whole gaslighting thing.
Oh, yeah, I would
Like they
agree
tell
with
you
that.
to be happy, but then everything they pour shit down your throat.
Yeah. Or they feed you this false idea of happiness. You should be happy all
Oh
the
yeah.
time. And if you're not happy, shame on you. Shame.
Shame on
Ding
you.
ding.
You should be happy
Did you
all
watch
the time.
you watch Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Cersei got taken down the shame lady with her freaking bell. Oh, I always think about her. You remember that part?
I think I do.
Yeah, it's when Cersei had to walk naked through the streets.
Oh, that's right. I get Cersei and what's that other lady? Cersei and the redhead mixed up.
Oh,
Her name
not
is
not
uh
Sansa, right? Or is it Sansa? Yeah.
no, but because their names are so similar in my head,
Oh yeah,
so when I picture Cersei, I picture the redhead, but her name is whatever.
Sansa.
Sansa.
Sansa Stark. Yeah, man.
That show ruined me.
Dude, that show ruined me too. I've watched that show 5 times. I love that freaking show so much, and I cried. I can't tell you. And my favorite thing when people haven't watched that show is to ask them, "Have you watched the part with Hodor yet? Have you seen Hodor's backstory and why he says Hodor? Because if not, you're gonna need a fuzzy blanket,
Seriously,
a cat to cuddle or a dog to cuddle, and a lot of tissues,
a lot of them. And therapy afterwards, I'm pretty sure.
and maybe therapy because you will never be the same after you see what Hodor did." Oh,
Oh, Hodor.
my heart hurts. Yeah. So God,
Oh,
I don't even know what episode this is today.
my earphones aren't working.
Oh, that's annoying.
Microphone.
Okay, we're back, peeps.
We're back. I fixed it.
Technical
Actually,
difficulties.
actually, Cassie fixed it.
It's okay. We still have to help each other figure things out sometimes because
I'm like,
do
why
we
is
really
this?
know what we're doing?
Well, it took
Questionable.
me like 5 seconds to figure out that the sound was still coming through my, even though I had my phone on, like it was still, I could still hear you. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think this is right.
I can't I can't actually truly laugh because if I do, I will bless your ears with the most aggressive hack. Um,
That's fine. We like a little blood in our ears. Means we're alive.
okay. It was a
All
quiet one. I
right, so
stopped it.
happiness.
What is it?
Oh man, that was a trip down the old TikTok hole.
Dude, mine was articles. I found all your modern day sciencey shit. It was interesting.
Yeah, I noticed they had a lot of scientific stuff like that, but like on TikTok. So I like TikTok because this is like reading the consciousness of like the consciousness of humanity, the big egregore or whatever.
Hmm.
And so I just type in happiness or whatever. And what I found was is that I don't think people actually know what happiness is or how to find it, or because there was a lot of like stitches with the Hitchcock I mean, apparently that's like trending right now because it was somebody interviewing Hitchcock and he was explaining what he felt like the happiness was.
Hitchcock.
Hitchcock is a director, and forgive me because I only know a little bit of history on him. He was a director that did like a lot of the old scary movies, like The Birds,
Oh,
and what was the other one? Bates Motel. Like he did
uh,
those.
okay.
Um, and that was the where he was like one of the scariest guys and one of those architects of horror. Like that's kind of where it started. The
Gotcha.
the grandfather, the god of horror.
And what was he saying? What happiness looked like to him?
Yeah, there was something he goes on to like say that like it's a clear horizon and it's kind of letting go of things that don't like the things that people tell us, you know?
Yeah, because when I was researching it, I found a lot of things that, if you guys haven't noticed by now, I feel like when Nicole and I do a lot of this research and we get these definitions, we're like, who the fuck came up with this? Um, and one of the, sorry, indicators of what happiness look like. Oh, you're so welcome for this. Some of the indicators that I wrote down that I wanted to discuss because again, I feel like we try to force being happy and
Oh,
we don't know how to
absolutely.
like let go to actually experience happiness. And these were some of the ones I really wanted to discuss with you was believing that you are living the life you desired.
Believing the life you think you desire?
Believing that you are living the life you desire, which I can get down with a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
but
very open-ended though. Like it's not like it doesn't really explain anything. It's just like words.
yeah, and this one I wanted to talk about because I feel like there's this idea that okay, to get happiness, you have to let go of your ideal version of what happiness is, in my opinion. And when you when you start like really pushing it, you start going against what the universe is trying to do. So then you start being like, well, this isn't the life what I'm trying to get to, I guess I should say, is this isn't the life I desired. I don't have the car I want. I don't have the house I want. I don't have that. Basically, what I'm saying is you're living in a lack mentality. And when you're only focused on the lack, um, you're basically pushing yourself into a vibrational contradiction with the universe.
Absolutely, because the universe is abundant
Yeah.
and it
So,
wants the best for you.
and it's already
Well,
trying to do the
not the
best for
best.
you.
It's basically manifesting what you think you want. And when the universe is talking to you, it talks in symbols and it talks in one words. It doesn't talks in like nouns. It doesn't talk in like, I don't want this. It talks in like, you said oh, how do I do this? Um, like I don't want that person yelling at me. And I say, I hope that person doesn't yell at me. And then they yell, it's the yelling that it's listening to, not the I don't or do.
I'm sorry, your thing kind of crackled. Can you say that one more time for the people
Oh,
as well as myself?
that's dumb.
I
No,
know.
I can't repeat it.
Okay. Well, believing that you live the life you desired, I think that I think there has to be an understanding that comes with it that you are living the life that you desire. You just can't put restrictions on the universe. Because I believe that the universe does want you to be happy. I believe that you have spirit guides, you have ancestors, you have a lot of things behind you helping that to happen. And it goes into what you're doing in your day to day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that one goes along like if you're living a life filled with the lack mentality where I don't have this. I don't have that. Why don't I have this? You're not
Hmm.
experiencing the now and all the things you do have.
Yeah, you miss that kind of thing.
Yeah, because we have to also take steps to get to where we want to be. You guys, Nicole and I want to do this podcast for a year and a half before we actually started doing it.
Hmm.
And we kept like thinking about it. It was heavy on our mind, all these things. We knew we wanted to do it. We knew it would make us happy, which my God has it made us like it's really helped to curate a lot of happiness for us.
Oh, absolutely.
And it wasn't one of those things where we were like, well, why hasn't it happened? It was one of those things where it's like, okay, it's gonna come.
Yeah, it's that like thing they put on posters in buildings and offices where it's like if you keep focusing on what it is that you want. But I feel like then nobody tells us that it's each step that is going to get there. As long as I keep my focus, and it's more powerful when two people do it together because we're both focusing on the same thing. And as long
Hmm.
as you keep it, like every step I take is going to get me to there. And now looking back, you and I can see everything that we've been through led us to this point right here, right?
Yeah,
But while you're actually making those steps, you don't, we get sidetracked and we don't think that how is me crossing the street here helping me to get to having my own podcast?
exactly. It's hard for us to see all the steps that the universe is taking for steps that are going to make sense. They might not make
Mm-hmm.
sense now, but I think sitting in now is really important when it comes to happiness. Um, like obviously I'm not feeling too great, but you know what? I was really thankful today and like happy I got to sleep in. Nicole agreed to doing the podcast later. She's like, yeah, that works. And I was like, awesome, dude. That makes me so happy. I got to sleep in. I got to
Mm-hmm.
get up slowly because I'll tell you what, I took NyQuil last night. Your girl was waking up feeling a little fucking weird this morning. Weirder than normal. Because let's be honest, I'm a weirdo. But holy God, I was like, if I get up right now, I'm gonna be doing some weird dance moves to the bathroom type weird. Is that normal? Is that how NyQuil's supposed to work?
NyQuil, the magical elixir of life.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, another one that I had saw in this like psychology, whatever, article was, and I like this one. Being content with your life is one of the key indicators they look for in happiness of people.
It's interesting because, like, I wonder sometimes how to be content, but also like how to strive for bigger goals too.
Absolutely. That was another one, considering that you've achieved or will achieve your life goals. Which I agree with that one. When you look back at your life, I feel like this also curates a lot of happiness for myself. Looking back at the things that I have achieved, big or small, personal or like internal or external, that like really has helped my happiness a lot and helped keep me in a state where I'm like thankful or like
Mm-hmm.
just peaceful because I'm like, well, something might not be going right now. I can look at how far I've come from how I used to either treat a situation or how I used to respond to a situation, and that right there gives me peace and joy. And I'm like, dang, go me. That
Yeah,
feels good.
that does make me very happy where I can see the growth and where I've come from to where I am. And I really that for me is definitely very much of a happiness kind of thing. Like I'm progressing.
Yeah, I agree. So sorry. Yeah, so
Sicko.
so sick. Um, okay, something that I know we wanted to talk about too was do you guys ever like you're happy, man, you're peaceful, you're joyful, and then you just get this like little flutter in your chest and you're like something bad's gonna happen. Something bad's
It's
gonna
hold on, okay. The what is that? The when is the other shoe gonna drop kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
They talk about that too, about how like we can't stay content. And I think you hit it on the head is like if we live in the now, we don't think about the future because anxiety is the future and depression is the past.
Right. Yeah, and like the future's scary. We don't know what it holds, man. And the past is there for a reason, but it's in the past for a reason too.
Well, it's done. You only have now. They're illusions, really. At least if
Right.
you listen to The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle, like that for me was a really cool book to listen to. Um, because he explains it in a way that seems so divine.
I would agree. I'm like only a couple this is my second time trying to get through the book because I think I found morbid
Yeah, last
when I
time.
was reading it. Yeah, and it took me away from it. So, which must have not been for me then. So I'm like a couple chapters in right now, and it's also his voice is phenomenal. I love it. It's so easy to listen to.
He's so easy. At first, I thought, I'm like, this is a little weird, a little quirky. And I'm like, but once you get into it and you really feel the words that he's using, it's
Yeah.
great.
So I found a couple other things and thought of a couple other things too that helped me stay in um a more a state of like peacefulness. And you guys, I also wanted to mention that if you're not happy, don't force it. Feel your feelings, man, because
Hmm.
feeling your feelings allows energy to flow through you. You'll be able to, it's kind of like you're doing a flush. When you cry, it's like you're flushing out that energy. You're getting it out, you're letting it flow. And then you allow the universe, if you just start going with the flow of the universe, you'll allow for things to come in. You're allowing for more roads, more pathways, more breezes, I guess. The gales.
Surrendering. Yeah.
Yeah, the gales of the universe, the winds,
Yeah. The wind, the
all the
gale
colors of
winds,
the wind.
all the colors of the wind.
You know, don't feel bad if you don't feel happy. I think a huge part of anything too, when we're talking about these ideas that seem so simple, but then when you really start thinking about it for yourself, you're like, well, nothing good ever happens to me, and blah, blah, blah. Try to watch your thoughts. It's really, really hard to start curating a better way to talk to yourself, I guess, for a better lack of terms. But it's
Hmm.
really worth it to start being like, okay, no, I don't deserve this. Or, no, we're not gonna, I don't need to feel bad about that. Like, perfect example, we were in Chicago a couple weekends ago, myself and my partner for our early anniversary trip. And we went out that night. I had given him my ID and my credit cards. And we went back to the hotel, slept like freaking babies because I lived in Hangover Town the next day. I was the mayor, but
I was
woke
the
up.
man.
I was the mayor of Hangoverville. um, we got up and we were getting ready to go to our lunch reservation, and I couldn't find my ID or my cards. He was freaking out because he was like, "I can't, I can't believe I would do that. I never lost anything." Blah blah blah. And I was just like, we were looking, we couldn't find it. I was like, "Well, let me call the bar we were at, see if they have it." They didn't have it. And I was like, "Well, let's just go downstairs and check the front desk." And I was like, I was like, it is what it is. I could freak out about this and be like, oh my God, somebody's gonna, this is just my luck. That's not my
Right.
luck, you know? And moral of the story is I did find it, but having moments like that, once you start allowing that healing energy to flow and that
Hmm.
peaceful joy, and not a lot of things can really get to you anymore to where you feel so stuck in this pessimistic, nothing good ever happens to me mind
Hmm.
thought.
Well, yeah, because if you take that one single moment and if you really rode that horse all the way through that day, you would have ruined the day, right? You would have not been present for any moment after that.
No, I probably wouldn't have wanted to go to our lunch reservation. We ended up going to the Field Museum and having a grand time.
Hmm.
Probably wouldn't have done that. I got to see dinosaur skeletons. Like, you guys,
Hmm.
I'm obsessed with dinosaurs, but I didn't know how far that obsession went until I wanted to sit and stare at the T-Rex skeleton for hours. And Jordan was like, why are all these people like sitting on the side watching this? And I was like, I could do that. But like, I could do that.
Right. Just sit here and stare at it because you're absorbing the energy, right?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, this is like mind blowing. But yeah, you know, watching your thoughts, watching how you talk to yourself. Again, it's really hard work.
Well, not doing the live, laugh, love thing. And if you do it, that's fine. It doesn't work for me. It's very cynical to me. But like, if you don't, yeah, if I'm going through a bad time, like, yeah, I'm going through this bad time, and that's okay. I know that if I feel my feelings, and even like, crazy things that they always tell us, like journaling and talking to a friend about it, even if you just tell them that you don't need them to fix it, you just want them to listen.
Yeah.
Telling a person what you need from them first before you unload on them is a lot more healthier than just vomiting all your feelings on somebody.
I learned that in therapy too, that that's really helpful in partnerships and any partnership, especially intimate ones, is to ask somebody before if they bring up something that you're like, okay, and you want to give them something, ask them like, what do you need from me right now? Do you just need me to listen or would you like me to give you advice?
Hmm.
And sometimes like they'll be like, I really just need you to listen to this. And it's like, okay, man, I can do that for you, you know?
Right. Well, it makes it clear what you want from me, because
Yeah.
if I'm a natural born fixer, which I am, I'm like giving you suggestions. What do you need me to do? Like, do you want me to go with you? Like, but that
Yeah.
sometimes that's not helpful, right?
Exactly. Sometimes like you're not in a place, people aren't in a place to hear uh how it worked for you,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. Um, okay, another thing, slow down and enjoy life's small pleasures.
Hmm. Smell
I
the
love
rose.
that one.
Smell the roses.
Man, enjoy that fucking cup of coffee or that energy drink in the morning.
Oh my God, that is the most, I think that moment right there is what gets me out of bed in the morning, is just so I can sit and quiet and like, because I feel like I'm so sensitive, the morning is so quiet and clean. It's a
Mm,
very clean energy before you like get up and go out in public and all that kind of stuff. It's a very nice feeling. And if you can get up in the summertime, oh, it's such a precious moment.
I feel like I always tell people I'm not a morning person, but I should clarify that I'm not a morning person with other people. Like,
Right.
I'm a morning person when I'm at home. I like getting up,
Hmm.
getting ready, doing some cleaning, put on maybe music sometimes no music. And usually if it's music, it's either like lo-fi or sound bowls, something like that. Oh, and
Hmm.
especially in the summer, throwing that freaking door open, hearing the
Oh
birds chirp.
yeah.
Oh, you got coffee brewing. Those small moments are so amazing.
Dude, one of the moments dealing with coffee in the morning, I used to go over to my grandma's house and in the morning, and we would sit and have coffee and cigarettes and just either talk about the day or what's going on in life, or like maybe we were watching the news because she liked to watch the news and maybe commenting on something like that. Just sitting there and spending time with no purpose other than connection.
I love that. I love that so much. After my big relationship that we broke up, I was living with my grandparents for a while, and I used to love mornings at their house because grandma gets up at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. She used to be a bus driver. She's also a cigarette smoker. So you would smell
Mhm.
coffee and cigarette smoke coming into my room, and I was like, but you would just hear she's quiet, but you would hear
Mm-hmm.
her TV on low upstairs. And
Yeah.
so I go upstairs. Sometimes I'd be up before my grandpa, but my grandpa and I are pretty similar people. And then we'd get up around the same time. And we'd all sit and have coffee, watch a little bit of the news. Not my favorite, but I still enjoyed the moment because I was like, dang,
Yeah.
getting up and being able to just sit here with two people that genuinely love and care about me. I feel so safe. Like this moment, those moments make me so happy.
It's just, yeah. And, I hate to be cliche and have people say, like, it's the small things in life, but like, it is the small and the big things. Like, day to day stuff. Like, I love the sky. I love clouds. I love sunsets and the moon. Oh my God, the moon makes me entirely happy.
Like, dude, yesterday, last night, I was driving home and I literally meant to text you this, but I missed the moon. You know, everybody complains about not seeing the sun during times like this, and I'm like, it looks very twilighty out today, and I'm not mad about it, but I really
Right.
miss the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It was
miss her.
out. God, what was it? It was Wednesday, Tuesday. Tuesday night, I think going home, I was like, and I was like, does she see me?
It's
Like,
like your fatal attraction. You're like
I,
shy.
I'm like, oh my God.
You're primping yourself. Oh my God, hi.
I totally nerd out in my car as I'm like,
That's so funny. Um, okay, and another idea of how to promote happiness, working out. I found out that when you move
yeah.
your body for even 10 minutes, you release GABA. It's a neurotransmitter that helps to calm your brain. I did not know that because I have always said, I love working out. I literally can't wait to get back into a workout routine. And it's not
Hmm.
for anything other than it is some of the only times where my brain's not going at all. I'm not getting anything
Right.
coming in. I'm not getting anything going out. I am in a state of absolute meditation because most of the time when I'm meditating, things are coming in. It's like download
Hmm.
time, not relax time. Even when I'm sleeping, sleeping lately has been travel time. So, I didn't know that there was actually, I don't know, science behind why working out actually is really good for you.
Yeah, they endorphins too, because I was looking up the happy chemicals.
Oh yeah,
And so the way this girl had put it, it's you have four, and it spells the word dope. So you got dopamine, oxyto no,
oxytocin.
yeah, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins.
Uh-huh.
So dopamine is the reward chemical, feeling of accomplishment and excitement. It is associated with motivation to access this practice. You can practice gratitude.
Wow.
And then yeah, I can see when I
You can see when you do it. Yeah. For some reason, that
with
was a
this
really aggressive one.
it was
Be nice,
um
internet.
right. To access this, what I was saying is practice gratitude.
Oh, so when you practice
So
gratitude, you get more dopamine release?
yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
get it because you're thankful for what you did, and those are things that make you happy, right? Like if
Oh, hell
I'm
yeah.
thankful for this podcast, well, as soon as I think of this podcast, I get a rush of dopamine in there.
Brain hacks.
Brain hacks.
We're going to change this episode name to Brain Hacks for Happiness.
All right, so oxytocin is the cuddle hormone connection and bounding. I put bounding. I don't know. Bonding. Sorry.
Ah, ah.
Read word. I'm good.
You're really good at this.
Bonding and love. So these are the warm, fuzzy feelings. So to get the oxytocin, hug, even if you hug yourself, or apparently kitten videos give you the same feeling.
Of course they do. Kidding me? Probably corgi butts do too.
Oh my God, right? Anything. So they were saying that like if you put on a blanket helps. Being warm. So taking a warm shower or a hot bath helps. These are all things that will produce oxytocin into your brain.
Oh, okay.
Serotonin, happy chemical. This is determines your mood. Make yourself laugh. Okay, so the thing about life hack about this one is that your body doesn't know a fake laugh from a real laugh. So what she did is she started to do a count of laughing to 10. So if we fake laugh
I
to
can't. I'm gonna
10,
cough. There's no serotonin over here, baby. There hasn't been in days.
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 But she was like, ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha ha,
Oh,
ha
bitch.
ha ha.
You're gonna, yeah, stop. You're gonna make me laugh and I'm gonna hack it in these people's ears. I'm gonna hack it in your ears. Oh, that's gonna make me crack up.
Oh, well, so, and then the fourth hack is endorphins. Body's natural pain relievers, reduces stress and depression. So chocolate does this. Especially dark chocolate, it releases endorphins. And I thought about this because you don't like chocolate. So I was like, oh, so what if you already produce a lot of endorphins and that's why you don't like chocolate?
That makes sense because the only chocolate I truly like is like, and it's very few and far in between, but it's like the 80% cocoa.
Yeah, the bitter one.
Oh, every once in a while that shit just gets me right. Maybe that's
Mhm.
what it is. Maybe I'm like, you know, uh in a endorphin low, I guess, for a better lack of terms. And then
Right. And that's the
all of a
only time
sudden
you like
chocolate's
chocolate.
like, oh
I
yes.
need some. So the way in which this is going, hold on. Okay, this is the one that was going along with your exercise thing. So any kind of movement, depression, if you have depression, move. And it doesn't have to be like a workout. We don't have to make it that strict and overwhelming. Put on a Lady Gaga song and move your thighs. I
Dude,
want to
just
see them
stretch.
shake, right?
Yeah. Do little
Anything.
stretchies. I
Hmm.
get you moving.
Just moving, just moving. And I know when you're sick in depression that it's hard to even get up.
Fuck yeah, dude. It is
But
hard.
do little bits at a time. Break it down small. Like I'm going to sit up and
It,
then I'm going to stand up.
even if you're sitting up, shake your legs, shake your arms,
Yeah.
do a
Yeah.
little
Don't laugh. Don't
no
laugh.
laughing, no laughing. No,
No
no laughing
laughing.
in this house. None.
No laughing. We don't like it.
Wow, I like the breakdown of those chemicals. That's very
Thanks.
interesting. Cause like I feel like you know, we as humans don't I can't the only best way I have to describe how this is when you go to cosmetology school, guys, you learn the basics. You they can only teach you the basics. It's like you have nothing in your wheelhouse. They have to give you the absolute fundamentals. You're not going to come out of cos school being as good as somebody who's been in this industry for 20 plus fucking years. It's just not going to
Hmm.
happen, especially somebody who's continued their education, who's constantly still learning. It's not going to happen. But what you can do is try to get behind them and be like, hey, yo, can you help teach me? Would you be willing to teach me? It's kind of the same thing. Like, there's a lot in this world and as humans that we don't know. And when you find stuff out or you just start adding these little things to your wheelhouse, man, you're just becoming well-rounded. Kind of like this. Like, I didn't know that about my hormones, but that was such an easy, cool way to break it down. And it's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
It's like cough medicine, yo. I didn't know there was two different
Cough.
kinds.
Oh, that's
Freaking
right. You just figured this out too.
I just figured this out and I was like, why isn't this common knowledge? And then I was like, oh, Well, because most people did know that. A lot of my clients
Do
were like,
they? I didn't know that.
oh, I could not believe how many of my clients were like, well, yeah. And I was like, well, what the hell do you mean, yeah, dude? Like, I didn't know that they were something as like an expectorant and a suppressant. Like, what? You didn't tell me.
We missed that class.
Um, I feel like this was a good one that I wanted to talk about too, Mom. Oh yeah. I don't think I've called you that on here yet. By the way, you guys, I call Nicole Mom. It's like her given nickname. Because Nicole feels weird to me sometimes unless we're in like a more professional setting. Um,
Hmm.
that's her given nickname for me. But surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals because people's happiness spreads.
Yeah, what is it? They say that you become the five people that you are around the most.
Yes,
Hmm.
I think I'm
So
around two people the most these days. And luckily one of them is you.
I'm lucky.
We're lucky. Lucky girl syndrome. Um,
That's a syndrome?
that's what they've been calling it on TikTok. Also, I did break that down, you guys. I wanted to talk about that too. Lucky person syndrome on TikTok is saying basically just saying, I'm lucky and everything works out for me. I will tell you freaking what, that shit has worked for me. And it's worked for me in more ways than I thought. Because I was like, what's the harm in trying it? I kind of want to do it.
Right.
Science. I am now Cassie Nye, the science witch. And it's no longer Nicole Nye, the science witch. It's Cassie Nye, the science witch. And I started saying it all the time. Just if like,
Because what can it hurt?
what's it gonna hurt? But you want to know what I found? It has really allowed me to release a lot of stress and anxiety.
Hmm.
Man, I've said this before, but myself years ago wouldn't recognize me now because one little drop of a dime, I'm stressed. I'm freaking stressed. Nicole can feel it. I can't talk to anybody. I'm bitey. Don't touch my stress. My stress is my stress, and I'm stressed. Stressed. Stay stressed one more time. Stressed.
Stress.
But it's kind of changed my mindset into I don't have to worry about I'm lucky. Everything works out for me.
Hmm.
Everything that I want is coming. Everything that I want is here. Everything that I want is mine. What is meant for
Well,
me
and
will
then
be
you
for
got
me.
proof from the universe about it too, like losing your ID and your credit card. Like the fact that you already knew that you were lucky and everything worked out for you. So that helped you not stress out about losing your wallet and your ID.
Oh yeah. I was telling Nicole just the other day about it because I was like, I don't think I told you I lost my ID because it wasn't a big deal to me. And
Hmm.
the funny thing is my partner Jordan that morning when we were looking and we went downstairs and she's like, "Oh yeah, so we're in downtown Chicago, you guys." And one of us, we don't know who, and I'm not, it doesn't matter who, dropped my sleeve with my cards and stuff in it out on the pavement, like on the sidewalk in front of the hotel, and somebody random picked up um the sidewalk, picked my stuff up off the sidewalk and brought it into the hotel. And she was like, yeah, I was just waiting for you to wake up. I didn't want to come and wake you guys up to give this back to you. And the first thing Jordan said when he walked out, he's like, how the fuck did you get so lucky? And I was like, because I'm lucky and everything works out for me. It was it was phenomenal. I was like, wow, this like lucky person syndrome really does work.
Right.
It's keeping me in
No.
a state of peace, man.
Well, and that's what's so great. Like you want to talk about happiness, like happiness being in peace and content about, it's this layering of this, like, all right, I'm peace content where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I know I'm working towards something more. And no matter what happens, whether I deem it bad or good, is for the greater good. It's for the goal that you're setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with you setting this lucky girl syndrome, that's what you get. Like that's what you're playing out in the universe.
She's a lucky girl. I can't stop thinking about the Britney song. She's so lucky.
Oh my God.
She's a star. My singing with my non-voice. You're welcome. Um, I
The
like this
album's
one
dropping
too.
next week.
Nah, uh, it's gonna be a lot of.
Sick person album.
It's a sick. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be the Sick Heathens album.
I'm buying two.
I'm gonna buy 15. Um, I like this one. I didn't think about how much this really has helped me to stay happy. Avoid gossip, small talk, and passing judgment on others. Emphasize meaningful conversations and interactions so you can create emotional connections. Since we have moved into the suites and I have had my own space with my clients and not had anybody else around, I have to say my life has gotten immensely happier. I have gotten immensely happier because I usually am able to avoid small talk and gossip and things that I want nothing to do with, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that alone has created
Yeah.
such a healthy space for me.
It's so cool to have physical boundaries. You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
and it's amazing to just, especially being a hairdresser, because like we are around people all the time. And in a big salon, you are interacting with not only the people that are working there, but you're also interacting with everybody's clients as well.
Yeah.
So
And hearing
it's
every client's story that's not your client, too.
um just yeah, just the thickness of thoughts and emotions and energy and all that kind of stuff in that world is just so, and you wouldn't even notice how much you're keeping a shield up until you're put in a room.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you get the chance to like sit in a room where nobody else is around and just really let those walls down, you start getting really good emotional connections with people.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gosh, some of my clients are like senpais for me too. Like they really have helped me in my life, just even just been there to listen, help me think through like like when your thoughts get crazy. And I always
Mm-hmm.
think about the Thornberry kid, that's like sometimes how I feel in my head, where I'm like, okay, we gotta calm down up there.
All right, all right, all right.
Yeah, like chill the hell out, man. I think about that often, but it's been nice to have them help you think through it, because most of the time they
Mm.
care about you, so they're a little biased, but they are third partied, and some people have different experiences that really help you to get through the things they're going through. So I feel like making those what do I want to say? Intentional connections, intentional
Mm-hmm.
conversations. It's really gonna help your state of being, man, and freaking get out of gossip, homies.
Well, gossip only makes you feel good for that moment, right? Like gossip feels good in that moment. And then that's it. That's all you get from it. It's like a hit of of this false happiness, right? Like this
Uh-huh.
false like joy. It's like tainted or toxic.
Well, and then the guilt and shame that comes behind you just talk shit about somebody. Hopefully
Right.
they never find out what you just said.
Yeah, because even when you're saying it, you're thinking like I shouldn't be saying this. This is not nice for this other person. And I wouldn't necessarily want them to say stuff about me.
My rule of
Um,
thumb is if you can't say it to their face, don't fucking say it to anybody.
yeah, that's true.
Because the things that I talk about with Nicole, I will happily say to people's face.
Hmm. Well, and there's something different about gossiping or working out your thoughts too. Like, gossip
Yes.
doesn't lead to anything. It's not going to make you a better person. It's not going to, like, it's not enhancing your life.
Right. It's not.
It's really a form of bullying, a cowardly bullying almost, right? Like,
I would agree with that.
because you're not going to do it to their face, but in fact, you're nice to their face because that's what we think we're supposed to do. And it's like, I would rather you be honest about, like, yeah, I don't have to be like nice to me, being a decent human being. Like, I can hold the door open for you. I can, say hi to you and acknowledge your presence.
Mhm.
But we don't need to talk about the weather. I don't need to, stop by your room and see how you're doing per se. Like, I don't want that kind of falsehood.
Yeah, sometimes you guys, I'll be really honest. If I get to the suites after Nicole, I'll try to stop and say hi, but sometimes I feel awkward because like I want to say hi, but like at the same time, like I don't want to just be like, "Hi, I'm here," and then walk
Right.
away. But like then I like try to do the small talk thing, and then it also feels awkward, and I'm just like, we're just gonna accept the awkwardness here. I shouldn't have any awkwardness with this woman, but it's the fact that I don't do small talk like that. So it's like really hard for me to like just be like, hey, how's your morning? Wow, it sure is gloomy outside. So are you gonna watch the Super Bowl?
Oh.
Fourth ball? Can't.
Oh
Um,
my God.
I have two more things that I think help facilitate happiness, and then I will digress. Um, this one I have found is really big for me and has been a big game changer for other people as well. Like, when I buy presents, uh, except for my very close people where I know what they want, I try to buy experiences. So instead of buying shit for yourself, start buying experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that has facilitated a ton of happiness for me. Like when it's birthday presents or like Nicole and I are getting tattoos together and that's what we wanted to do this
Mm-hmm.
year. And like it's just like a friendship thing that we decided we wanted to do with each other because we haven't
Mm-hmm.
done it. And um like for our anniversary, I don't want any presents. Fucking take me to dinner, dog. Like let's go
Right.
do something together.
Well, and sometimes, because I know that, like, with the neurodivergent clans, sometimes you need a little dopamine. So buy a new pen. Like, if you can't journal, buy a new pen, buy a new journal. Help you be motivated, but don't buy something just to buy something. Like,
Hmm.
buy something because you know that this is what you're going to do. Like, this is going to help me, motivate me into doing what I need to accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. My last one is and I just want this to be more of an encouragement one for you guys is don't be scared to lean on your friends and your loved ones for help.
That's what they're there for.
If they're not there for that and you don't feel the need to lean on them, what are they there for?
And you're stealing their happiness because they love you, because they want to, like, have this connection with you. That's what makes them happy, is you leaning on them.
Absolutely. I want to be there for everything. I want to help through the good and the bad, but if you're going through something bad, I want to be there for that
Mm-hmm.
because of the love, man.
Because of love.
Love. It is almost Valentine's Day,
It is.
which is also Nicole's anniversary.
Uh-huh. It's gonna be how many years is it? I think it's 21 years.
I'm sorry, did you say it was 21 years?
I said it was 21 years.
Wow,
A life sentence.
for real. No laughing.
No laughing.
Um, yeah, I guess the only other thing that I really had, which I'm sure you probably have more, but
I got some stuff.
um, I just want to reiterate really quick before I digress. Just try to fall in love with the now. Let go of this perfect idea of what your life should be, and you don't have to let go of your desires, but let go of the fact that you don't have everything you want right now. Live in the now.
Live in
You'll
the
feel better.
now. Yeah. Accept all your flaws and
Yeah.
your, whatever you've deemed that's wrong with you, accept them. The quirkiness, like stuff I've had to reclaim in myself is that, like, I can't read very well and I don't pronounce English the best. And um, I'm not, I have such a striving to be perfect. Like, I have to write this and I have to be perfect. And it's like, you can't even do that. You can strive to be perfect, and that's with refinement. But you have to jump off first. You have to like build it, destroy it, build it, destroy it, and build it again.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great way to say that.
So little things that I had was okay, so I had to look up the definition of happiness.
I love that.
The state of well-being and contentment. Okay,
For once, the definition I actually do like.
right. Not
Okay,
bad.
I like that one.
Also they pointed out that society and culture factor also influence how we think about happiness. For example, people from a culture that embraces more collect collective collectives. See, I can't even say that. Collectiveness idea. Think about happiness more in terms of harmony and contentment, while more individualistic minded people connect to feelings of embracing or exuberant feelings of exuberance and joy. Happiness level are also shaped by social groups like families. Happier people increase the happiness of the people around them too. Like had you what you had said about it.
Heck yeah, dude. There's a when I was in polyamory, I did a lot of research about it before I was in it, and then I was doing a lot of research during it. And there's this group in Africa, um, a group of people, a culture you could say, where they're all polyamorous, and when a woman gets pregnant, she sleeps with a man that is the best at doing whatever he does, because they believe that um all of those men's energy are going to go into the kid to make the kid the best at everything. They're all the dads. All of them are the dads. No
Mm-hmm.
person has ownership. And I think that right there is like a really cool example of that too, because it's like, oh my God, like that's so beautiful. Everybody's a dad and they're all giving
Man,
energy into this baby and they're all trying to help facilitate the best life for it.
that's such a beautiful thing too, because like if you think about it, if you take away all the dogma that we believe on what marriage is supposed to be and connections, like throw that all out the window for just a second. And if you really sit with the fact that you are bettering the human race with connection and there's no separation,
Uh-huh.
you literally are raising this child together
That kid
for
has so many dads that care about him.
right. And so many things that they can pass down and teach verbally. Like,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's such an amazing way to think about it, more community and connection, and not that one person's trying to be better than the other.
Right. They'll have their own special quirks. So then they're all the dads in that culture. It seems the kids are all every time I've seen that culture, because some polyamorous educators will really talk about that culture a lot because it's a huge example of polyamory, obviously, but or some form of it, I should say. Um, but when you see those kids, man, they're happy as hell. They're
Mm-hmm.
always smiling. They're like the kids. They're out here doing little TikTok dances and can dance better than I've ever thought I could, even in my head. And I'm like, damn, son, save some for the rest of us. Little 4-year-olds are getting it.
Well, they're well supported and they know, like it's I don't know. I mean, I don't want to like bash down on like what we have now because I don't want to bring that kind of like thing in there. That one is not right and one is not wrong. But I
Exactly.
think if we can like marry the two together, like, the saying it takes a village to raise a child, and that's what I've always said when I was raised in Trinity, like, it takes a village. So it's not just about me
Oh,
and my femininity and my womanhood. It's also about my mother-in-law. It's about my grandmother. It's about my mother. Like, it's about all of that collective feminine energy. And she gets to pick the best of each of us because both of us, all of us have our weaknesses and our strengths.
mm,
And she gets to filter in what is the best about all of us. Yeah, yum. Ew.
okay.
That was nice. I felt
Those,
some.
those are 4 coughs for this episode.
So I guess to sum up, what I think is happiness for me and at this time of my spiritual growth and journey. Don't cough.
I muted myself. So you guys didn't have to hear that. And I feel better now.
Oh,
Continue.
good. Continue.
Please continue.
Oh God. What was I saying? Okay. Um, for me, it's been digging deep into spirituality and having faith and connection with God and the creation of all things, and really sitting with them and then passing it down and teaching other people about it.
Yeah.
And it's not it doesn't, it feels so natural and so like fulfilling to do this. Like, the first time in my life in a long time, which I think is a song somewhere.
For
um
the first time in
yeah.
a long time.
What's, what song is that?
I think that's from Frozen.
Oh, that's right,
For the
that's right.
first time in forever. There it is. I think. Pretty sure it's Frozen or it's Moana. Moana or Frozen?
I think it's Frozen.
I
I
think
think
it's
you're right with the
Frozen.
Frozen, yeah.
I think I am too.
But I remember taking moments, even like I'll be laying in bed and how it feels so good to get into bed. And I remember that moment and that feeling. And I remember, or I started to tell myself, I am really happy right now. I'm really
Yes.
happy with my life. I'm really happy with the growth, the struggle, all of it, all of the textures of what my life is, the bad, the good, the ugly, all of it, because all of it makes up this, you know, all of it is God.
Well, all of it is your life.
Right.
And I mean, you gotta think, like we said, you gotta think about those small things in your life, man. You gotta think about enjoying those moments. Like there is nothing more. I love my
Mm-hmm.
partner. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a 12-hour workday yesterday, and I could not wait to come home to my bed by myself with my
Uh-huh.
babies. And we all snuggled up, took some NyQuil, and passed the hell out.
Hell yeah.
And I was so thankful.
Mm-hmm.
I remember laying down and being like, oh, bed, I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. You're going to make my back feel better, and I really appreciate you.
You're right. And I'll get the rest that I need, and taking care and nurturing yourself too, like all of that stuff. And it's taken me a long time to like get through. I don't have to feel bad about my life. And I think that's what I thought life was, that I wasn't a good person unless I was, feeling bad about myself. And, getting to like, holding my baby. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
she's 15, she's gonna be 16, and we all know that like eventually she's gonna go off and create her own life, right? Because that's what we raise them for.
right.
And holding her, just just holding her and watching whatever, just holding her and really sitting with that moment, not worrying about like my bills, my house payment, my what am I gonna wear tomorrow at work? Like none of that. Not any of that, but like literally like, okay, this is what she feels like in my arms, and this is what her head feels like, and this is what her face looks like. And then, just energetically, like I've even started to like I will touch her hands almost like a massage just to feel what her hands feel like, just to have that moment.
Safe to say you sound obsessed with your child.
I am obsessed with her.
Yeah, but me too. I love the baby. Um,
Obsessed.
yeah, I guess that goes back to if you guys haven't listened to The Power of Now, that book will really change it for you.
It really does. The two books that I just listened to, and one of them is a little cringy, and I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Or
If
not
you
sorry.
want to get your thoughts right, listen to Joel Olstein. What was that one called?
Oh,
Do you remember what that one's called? I
um,
forgot what that was called.
not the power I am.
I Am. The Power of I Am.
Power of I am.
It is good. You're not gonna lie to you guys, but it does teach you how to think differently or how to reform the thoughts in your head. It gives you a platform and what this looks like to have positive thoughts. And then the power of now is how to sit in the moment and how to really enjoy the moment and not let that pass by.
Yeah. Mm. Guys, I understand if that sounds hard to like think about doing because I don't know if I'm in a place right now where Joel Osteen is something I could openly listen to. I probably could, but I have other like things on the list first, and I'm hoping that that will help me get to that point to where it's like I can hear outside of like my
Well,
trauma.
it's the whole throwing the baby out with the bathwater kind of thing. Um, I listened to it like on audio, so I actually got to hear his voice, and I'm telling you what, it was a tough go, but if he puts it in such a simplified way that I understood how to use it for my own benefit. That's really what it was.
Right. Sorry, I had to blow my nose so bad, but I'm here, you guys. Also, if you guys aren't watching this on YouTube, because we have a YouTube now and we have TikTok,
We have YouTube.
and soon we're gonna have Patreon, and I think we might be doing live. So if anybody's interested in that, please let us know. But Nicole got a new camera. And dude, every time she looks up right now when she's in the sun, her eyes look so light, which they are. They're like, aren't they hazel green?
They are. It depends on what I am
Look at how light
emotional
your
state.
eyes look. That's so cool. I'm getting a new camera. Oh,
I had to. I was all fuzzy. I needed it to be clearer.
I like it. It looks good. Now I need one because now I feel like I look fuzzy. Let me make my puffy face look less puffy. Oh, that's right. It's because
um,
I'm sick.
no.
Oh, well, I'm not getting it done. I'm just kidding. Oh, man. Okay. Are we satisfied?
I want to ask you a question.
Oh, ask me a question.
Yeah. On your spiritual journey, when did you really feel like you were happy? Like when
Oh,
did you
shit.
really notice it?
Damn, that's a good question. Um, okay, I would say that happiness is newer to me. Because I'd say there was moments where I would have it, but it'd be fleeting. It would run away, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to sit in it. I think it wasn't until I moved into my own place and lived on my own,
Mm-hmm.
um, that I started to actually experience what happiness was and realize that other things were killing that happiness. Um, and then when I was truly on my own, which granted didn't, it was what I think September through like end of January. So, not for a long time, but that was enough time of being seriously when you live alone and you don't have a partner. That shit'll do stuff to you, man. I tell everybody I think they should live alone because you have to really face yourself a lot of the time. And that's when I started really understanding. And like I had to be forced to sit into it. Cause what was I gonna do? Be here by myself freaking out about nothing? Or being stressed
Right.
about nothing? Like my apartment was clean, there's not shit to do. Like I gotta find, am I peaceful or do I need to find something to occupy my time so that I can feel peaceful? There was a lot of times where I just put music on and like lay in my bed, petting my cats, hanging out,
Mm-hmm.
and it was fulfilling. And I think that it's not, it's been like what, a year now that I've been dating Jordan. So it was right before that. So about a little over a year ago is when I think I really truly started actually knowing what happiness felt like. And that's when I was truly, quote unquote, alone, living alone, no
Mm-hmm.
partner, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that's when I found it because before again it was fleeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I don't think I actually allowed myself to notice the happiness on a level of um like I feel like it's just been recently that I've really gotten to a level of like enjoying the moment of like I'm happy. I'm literally happy right now because I just don't think I allowed myself. I always am climbing and striving for better things, and I think the what I thought was if I can't if I'm content with where I'm at right now, that means I'm not striving.
Yeah.
And that was something that I had to figure out.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Because if happiness means contentment, then contentment doesn't mean growth in my mind.
Mm.
So I had to like reprogram those thoughts to like, or find my way to it to be happy with what I have, but also happy with like striving and motivating me to do more.
Yeah. Yeah, that you just made me think of something too. I think what also really helped facilitate true like peace, happiness, joy for me was also I quit letting everybody else's happiness override mine in
Oh
the way of
man.
I am a Libra. I have four signs in Libra. I have a Virgo Venus and Aquarius moon. Like I am ultimate people pleaser over here. I want to make everybody fucking happy.
Mm-hmm.
But my Saturn is in, I want to say Aries. Um, and I had to really work with my Saturn place. I had to work with boundaries. I really did. And when I started getting boundaries up of no, dude, I'm not doing that, or I'm not going to be at everything. I'm not going to be at every little tiny thing you want me to be at. I can't because what it does is it puts me in a state of exhaustion. I'm not getting any time for myself. I'm not doing any of the things that make me happy. Like I love fucking reading more than anything. And I had no time to read. I had barely had time to like go to bed and get up at the decent time to get ready. And I think that putting boundaries up with people in my life um really helped facilitate happiness too, because I was no longer serving others. I was serving self in a healthier way.
Right. Well, and it's funny because I think we think, at least the way I had in translated it was if I make you happy, I will be happy, right?
Yes, exactly.
And it doesn't work that way.
No, no.
And even at some point I was figuring out like I'm like, why do I always feel so alone?
Yeah, exactly. Because you
You
did all
know?
this shit for somebody else, and then at the end of the day, you feel like you got nothing in return.
Right. And it
There was
wasn't
no
their
even exchange.
fault. No, and it wasn't their fault, you know?
Exactly.
So once I figured out how to make this happy, which gives me more of a motivation or a better way of doing it is giving back to other people. And it took me a while to figure out that saying of like fill your cup before you fill somebody else's.
The first person who I ever heard say this was Will Smith. I personally love that man. I don't care what anybody thinks. I fucking love that man. He and Jada had a very open, like been open to the public eye, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he was talking to Jada one day at the Red Table Talk, and he told her this was years ago. He had told her a long time ago because she was like, "Well, you're not making me happy," and he said, I can't make you happy. You're responsible for your own happiness, the same like I'm responsible for my own happiness, and then our happiness has come together and we share that happiness together. But I am
Mm-hmm.
not responsible for your happiness like you are not responsible for mine. And that made me think about myself because I was like, I used to do that way back in the day because, I'm a cryptic at this point. Way back in the day, I used to expect that if I did everything for somebody else and help facilitate happiness for them, they had to facilitate happiness for me.
Right.
They needed to make me happy when
Yeah.
truly I wasn't happy inside. So how can you make me happy? You can't.
No, but that's from like the point of view at that point, like that's what you think that's how it's supposed to go, right?
Exactly.
There
Yep.
was no other option. That's exactly how you're like, and until you hit your head against the wall and really figure out how dissatisfied you are with your life and it makes you feel uncomfortable is the only time that you are motivated to try something new.
I'm telling you, people, live alone, man. That shit it's rough, but it's great. Living alone. Oh man. I love living alone and moving in with my partner for this is my first time and since 2016 that I will live with a partner, not a friend. I'm
You got this shit.
excited.
Yeah, it's time.
But it's time, yeah. I did all the shits. It's good. Oh man. Thanks for listening to my sniffles, you guys. I did try to save you guys from some of my nose blowing and my coughs with my little mute button. Couldn't save you from it all. Watch,
It's
somebody's
okay.
gonna tell me, I like your voice like that.
I like it.
Ugh.
Well, it's fine.
Um, I like this episode.
I would hope so. It's happiness. How could you not like happiness?
Eh,
Oh, we could talk about people that like to be in their misery though too.
I think we kind of did, but we can
Did
keep
we?
going if you want.
No.
Yeah,
You
because
satisfied with them?
are you satisfied? I mean, I think we kind of talked about it when we were talking about like the lack mentality or the always looking for the shoe to drop.
Right, right.
But if you had anything to add, I think it would be good to add it because well, this isn't scripted, people. We have no
Right.
rules to follow here, Miss Nicole, the witch, human.
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 Maybe I should put
Should be heathen.
um I would say one of the lessons that I had to learn with helping people is that people are defined by their suffering and they want to be there. Like it serves a purpose for them and finding the difference of that.
Yeah. Well, the universe doesn't want us to suffer, man. I feel like when you
Mm-mm.
hold on to it, you put yourself into a place of resistance of happiness.
I agree.
Like I said, it's in the resistance to the winds and the flow of the universe, dog. You want to hold on to that shit so bad.
The gale force
Let
winds.
it go. Let it go.
Is that the
Do you guys like my
second
singing?
reference of Frozen?
Basically, this whole episode is you guys need to watch Frozen.
Or at least sing the song at the top of
I
your lungs in your car.
can only do like laughs with my breath full out because if I try to laugh with my breath in, I cough.
Cough, 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 cough,
Cough, cough.
cough, cough, cough.
Okay.
All right, I'm
Our
done.
next episode is on Ostara, which is
Ostara.
coming up. Not until the
Which
beginning of March, but we want to give you guys some time to get prepared for that. spring
Yeah.
equinox. We are very excited.
Ooh. Ooh, the spring equinox is a good day for magic too. Look it up.
Absolutely. I found a ton of stuff and I can't wait to tell you guys. So, um, I'm very excited for that. Hopefully, I do not sound like this because I'm over it. But if I do, I will be here. So,
Uh, it makes me happy however you sound.
yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Uh, um, well, thanks for being here.
Thank you for being sick. Oh, sicko.
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 All right, peeps. We'll see you at the next one.
Bye.
Peace out, homies.